And good evening, everyone. And indeed, it's a great honor and privilege to join this esteemed group of ROK-U.S. Leaders to honor General Baek Sun-yeop. I'd also like to make a special thanks to the KDVA Association, in particular Steve Lee and his team, for enabling this webinar tribute. I take a very brief moment also and to thank and recognize General Skip Sharp and General Jung for their personal leadership, energy, and passion to create KDVA and KUSAF and mature it into the great support mechanism of the alliance that it is today. General Sharp, both ROK and U.S. service members and veterans that have defended Korea appreciate what you have accomplished. And General Brooks, we also thank you for stepping up to assume the KDVA leadership this fall. I first met General Baek Sun-yeop when I was an assistant division commander in 2ID back in 2000. And admittedly, this initial contact was at formal U.S. gatherings. And at this point, my appreciation for his greatness was based upon books that I had read of the Korean War and the men who had fought and died in it. But it was when I returned to Korea as the 8th Army Commander in 2006, it was then that I had the opportunity to meet with General Baek more frequently and to actually develop a personal relationship. And I have to say, without a doubt, General Baek Sun-yeop was the ultimate living expression of our ROK-U.S. alliance, and he epitomized the expression, kapsi kapsi da. Most of us know well that holding hands is a long-standing Korean tradition, and it's a manifestation of a shared warm heart and that there exists no daylight between us. When you held hands with General Baek Sun-yeop, you were holding hands with history. And I honestly I always felt I was in awe, knowing that these very hands that I was holding and I shared at that moment had also been shared with the likes of Korean President Syngman Rhee, U.S. President Eisenhower, Generals MacArthur, Van Fleet, Bradley, Taylor, Ridgway, Allman, Walker, just to name a few. Perhaps Generals Van Fleet and Ridgway best captured the essence of General Baek when they wrote, "He held steadfast to the basic tenets of the profession of arms: allegiance to country, personal honor, moral courage, abiding concern for subordinates, and always the will to win." Without a doubt, my most special memory of General Baek took place shortly after I took command of 8th Army, when General Baek conducted a mini staff ride for the 8th Army Command Group and staff to one of the sites that had served as the 8th Army headquarters during the war. And I don't remember exactly its location today, but I do remember that it was located not too far from Namdaemun or the South Gate. It was here that General Baek Sun-yeop met with then President-elect Eisenhower in December of 1952. Recalling history, Eisenhower had won the November 1952 presidential election over Adlai Stevenson with a campaign platform that included ending the war in Korea, and he promised, if elected, that he would travel to Korea to get eyes on the situation in order to figure out exactly what was going on and what America needed to do to end the war and bring our boys back home. When we visited that building and we went up to the second floor room, and we were inside that room, General Baek pointed to the far corner and he said, "General Valcourt, it was here in this room I spoke with President-elect Eisenhower and convinced him to support my plan to double the size of the ROK Army." General Baek said that he told Ike that 3 ROK divisions could be maintained and supported for the cost of 1 U.S. division. You know, at that moment, the ROK Army consisted of only 10 divisions, and by the time the armistice was signed, it was up to 16. And finally, by the end of 1953, the ROK Army had grown to 20 divisions. Incredibly, with General Baek's leadership and ROK and U.S. government support, the ROK Army had doubled in size in just 1 year. That's incredible. You can only imagine the seemingly impossibility of this task and how long it would take the U.S. today to add just 1 division to our Army. I will always remember Sunday morning breakfast, whether I was wearing a uniform or back in Korea as a senior mentor. I was always looking at the Dragon Hill Lodge on Sunday morning to see if General Baek and his wife would be coming for brunch, because they were frequent travelers to the Dragon Hill. And like others had said, he was never, ever too busy to drop what he was doing and to speak to U.S. partners. And he made you feel that he was genuinely excited to see you come. We will miss General Baek, soldier, statesman, and dear friend, and his love and steadfast dedication to the ROK-U.S. alliance.